Seen Robert Naughton, good friend of mine, coming out of motocross, downhill mountain biking, tearing it up in the Prolite class. And I think it's just about the motocross guys knowing how to pick lines, knowing what traction you need, and just knowing how to make it work.
Be great to see that guy come into the series. We have to talk about, I should say, guys, are the rookies. They've been here one time previously now. They've had a look at Crandon. How about these three guys that are amazing?
Rodrigo's coming in here, young kid with papas and beer. Great following for him down at Chula Vista. Robert Naughton has been strong, been there week after week, and also John Marking. So we got three Fords, very strong motors. They're always down in the first turn. There's a real good chance for them to get on the podium or even win.
Flag flies right here. Somebody sitting dead stick. It might even be Art Schmidt on the starting line. We take a look at Chad Horde here as they enter turn number 1 at Crandon International Off-Road Raceway, and the rookie gets the whole shot.
John Marking out in front.
Oh!
Chad Horde over multiple times, gets hit 1, 2, 3 times.
It looks like Javier Saucio might have ran into him while Chad Horde was in midair, and that is the danger of turn number 1 here at Crandon. Look at the fuel pouring out of the back of that thing. It is absolutely destroyed. He went for a ride. It's off camera. We've said it 100 times. They're wide open. These guys are probably pushing 85 miles an hour, and he went for a ride. The good news is it looks like he's okay.
And Jeff Kincaid, the current point leader, is out in front. This is what Chad Horde does not want. Chad's been consistent every race, and we've been talking about how he has not been out of the top 4. He is not going to finish this race, and now Kincaid is out in front.
Of course, Kincaid had problems here back in round 3 when his truck broke, so that'll kind of even the score. I think we also have to talk about these rookies. All 3 of them doing an excellent job with Kyle LeDuc pressuring them.
You got Rodrigo, Pudia, Naughton, and Marking all up there. Those guys all got great starts, but Rodrigo came here on the test day, has definitely gotten a lot more comfortable with this Crandon track, because the first time you come here, it's intimidating. A lot of blind rises, and a lot of times the driver will unconsciously lift off the gas, but now he's staying with the best.
John Marking in the blue truck, the blue Ford there, got off to that great start, but has fallen back a couple of spots since then. Super guy. And then you see Kyle LeDuc. That's also Lee O'Donnell right behind Kyle LeDuc in the Skyjacker sponsored machine.
Coming down into turn 1, when I was driving Art Schmidt's truck, you can, if you do everything right. You got to remember, these are a little bit narrower than the Pro 2s and the Pro 4s, so they're a little bit more tippy. So when you come into turn 1, if you have everything right, you can do it without lifting. It's a little bit hairy, but you can do it.
Did you do it?
Yep. Second lap, baby.
There you go. Stuck it out. Good for you. Once again in the yellow truck, Robert Naughton really doing a great job. He's in 3rd place. Rodrigo and Pudia in 2nd place, another rookie. Marking a rookie in 4th place. And then it's Kyle LeDuc, a former champ.
Kyle LeDuc working to the right and to the left of Marking, looking for a hole to get by him. But you know what? John Marking, so much desert experience, and he's great on his own.
Come on back. Round 11, Prolite action. As we watch the rookies leading this race, RJ, it's always about consistency. He has 8 wins, but he's also finished 21st and 15th. He will definitely finish out of the top 10 here today.
But Chad Horde has been so consistent. Now he's on the sidelines. This is a situation where Kincaid thought, you know what, I can make up some points. It'd be good for the overall run. But now he's on the sideline. Our 1st and 2nd points are sitting on the side.
Take a look at this. Rodrigo and Pudia, a little bit of smoke there out of Robert Naughton's truck.
Don't know if it's just leaking a little bit of fluid out onto the exhaust, and a lot of times it'll blow a little bit more smoke because he doesn't seem to be losing any speed, so hopefully he can stay in the battle and go after Rodrigo.
Place like Crandon, what are you thinking up here on the podium?
It's great to be up here. You know, Crandon and Bark River haven't been kind to me. I've struggled. I've lost some points back here. But we're not out yet. You know, the truck's dead. I mean, we got a lot of work to do to fix it tomorrow. We lost brakes there at the last 2 laps, apparently. Another track bar's bent. It ripped the caliper off. And I wanted to make a run at Rodrigo. He was driving good, but I was closing in there, and then we lost brakes. And I knew something was wrong in the rear end, and I was just milking it to the end there. And another lap, we would have been out. But awesome job by Rodrigo. We've both been having a good year. He's an incredible driver, as well as a few other rookies, John Marking and myself. And it's cool to be up here beating the factory guys. So congratulations to Rodrigo, and I just want to say thanks to Max's, Fox, and posterhanger.com, and we'll do it again tomorrow.
All right, nice job.
Thank you.
The The green flag about to fly for round 12 of the Prolite division. On the pole, John Marking. There's a great look at Chad Horde right alongside Jeff Kincaid. They're coming into turn number 1. Hold on, baby. Anything can happen here.
You might think, hey, after that big flip, he might hold back. Not Chad Horde, running strong, and now he comes out in 3rd place.
Rodrigo Ampudio with a hole shot. The kid gets his first win. 1 round to go, then gets to turn 1 first. It looks like Kyle LeDuc might be out front, though. Chad Horde hanging right in there with Kincaid behind him.
Kyle LeDuc said, I'm going to get down to that first turn first, and now he's out front. Here we see Robert Naughton running to the outside. We've talked about Robert before. A lot of different experience with mountain bikes, motorcycles. He's definitely offline, but flying.
John Marking in 3rd place. So again, 2 rookies, actually 3 rookies, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place.
I was saying that Robert Naughton was offline. He passed 3 guys in the gravel pit, so he's doing something right.
He had it hooked up, had a line of sight, no doubt, stayed out of trouble. Kyle LeDuc, the kid, got his first win here at this track. He knows how to get around this place and can be very fast.
Robert Naughton has said that he's been bit by Bark River and Crandon, but I'm telling you, it's very good to him right now.
Rodrigo Ampudio in 2nd. Robert Naughton in 3rd. Here comes Chad Horde making a move on John Marking. He's beating and banging with these guys.
Maybe that bruised knee is locked shut, and he's holding him wide open. There he goes to 1 tear-off, 2 tear-offs, 3 tear-offs. He's blasted through him, but he's holding his own. John Marking looking to the inside, but Chad Horde holds his spot.
And that's something else. You know, we've seen you do the stories on the tear-offs and what those guys have to do. I know one of the tricks that Art Schmidt taught me was to cut the fingers off the gloves so you can actually feel one of the tear-offs so you don't grab the whole stack and rip them all off.
I've done it a lot of times in motocross. Here we see Chad going up there. In a car, you can be a little bit more patient, but when you're racing motocross, you only have just a fraction of a second to take your hand off the handlebar. I pulled them all off, and then you're in trouble.
Jeff Kincaid well back in the pack here. If he's going to get a win today, he's going to have to fight through some very tough trucks.
1st and 2nd in points, had a terrible day yesterday. Now they're in 4th and 5th place, but a little bit of smoke coming out of Kincaid already.
He had engine problems in round 11, no doubt would pull out his backup truck and try to hang on. Chad Horde sawing at the wheel pretty hard, and you're right, there is smoke coming out of Kincaid's truck.
You see Chad Horde looking into the rearview mirror, looking to see if anyone's looking to the inside to make sure he protects his line, and right now, I have to say, you know, it's a pretty scary situation after you do a big crash like that. The next day you're wondering, did they tighten every nut and bolt on this thing? Is my steering shaft going to come off? But now,
Kincaid on fire, pulls down off of the track. You can see the crew running over there quickly with fire extinguishers, trying to get him out of that truck.
Well, this is where championships are won. Chad Horde yesterday said, well, I don't know if I'm going to run. The truck's too banged up. I'm too beat up. But right now he's sitting in 4th place, and now the guy who's leading the points is sitting on the sidelines. Tough break for Jeff Kincaid.
Keep in mind they had to put a complete rear clip on that truck, but look at what's happened here. Kyle LeDuc has fallen back to 3rd. Rodrigo Ampudio, no doubt, full of confidence. Jeff Kincaid is already out. Kyle LeDuc, the 2004 champ, has fallen back. We now have 2 rookies back up front. Robert Naughton right there in the yellow truck. That is 2nd place. Kyle LeDuc in 3rd place. Out in front, Rodrigo Ampudio, and there goes Kyle.
Kyle looked to the inside of Robert Naughton. Robert pinched him off a little bit unintentionally, and over he goes. A bad day for the guys that are usually up front and dominating this series.
And look at Rodrigo Ampudio, definitely put some distance on him. And here comes Chad Horde. They basically put an entire rear clip on that truck overnight. Had to relocate the differential on the back of it, the rear end, to make sure everything was square. And that truck is just as fast as it's ever been.
Robert not making a small mistake. Chad Horde getting by. Now Robert moving back into 2nd place. But you know what? I keep saying it, but my hat is off to Chad Horde. It's a very, very scary situation when you have a hard crash like that to have 100% confidence in your truck. But his crew has done a great job giving him the confidence, and now you see him going faster and faster because all of his fears are basically running out of his head.
I'm very impressed with the mental aspect of it. I crashed in the gravel pit, the turn they're coming up on right now, and I never went through that turn as hard again, not even once. So hats off to him for being able to attack turn number 1 wide open like he has to do if he's going to win this deal.
Well, this rookie, Robert Naughton, has a new sponsor, Dirks & Porter, out there doing a great job getting that poster hanger forward up into the podium position, but he's got a hard-beating Chad Horde right on his tail.
And the Dirks and Porter gang, I tell you, talk about some characters. They are a lot of fun, and looking forward to coming into this entire off-roading experience with some more trucks, eventually into the Pro 2 category. So we look forward to having them around on a bigger level. Right now, Robert Naughton definitely doing them a great job. Oh, hold on, baby. The final laps of round number 12 find Rodrigo and Pudia back up in front. In the same position in second place is Robert Naughton, who is catching Rodrigo on lap number 8. Robert Naughton laid down the quickest lap of the race so far here today.
But right now, Robert's in a great position. We see the white flag is out. He can use all of Rodrigo's braking points, but right now both these guys have spotters, and they're letting Rodrigo know that Robert's right there. So what do you do? In my position, I'm just going to run as clean a line as possible, knowing that Robert Naughton is not the driver to take me out. But remember, he is looking for his first win, so if it were me, I'd be laying a little bumper to him.
So Robert Naughton really closed the gap there over the last couple of laps, but now it looks as though he might have made a small mistake because he's not been able to close it up here in this first half of the last lap.
Now they got a lapper coming into play. This could either work for or against Rodrigo. Rodrigo has a great apex, Naughton opening up the corner, and actually he has to correct a little bit, Ken, so he loses some of that forward bite down the front stretch.
The drag race is on. The last half of the last lap. Can the rookie get back-to-back wins here at Crandon, Wisconsin, much like Kyle LeDuc did back in 2003?
Well, both of these rookies running very, very strong, Ken. Like you said, Robert's got 2 corners. If he's going to get it done, he better get it done now.
Long left-hand sweeper. You pull 4th gear, stand on the throttle, head into the gravel pit. Try not to flip it.
But let me tell you, one of the things that typically a rookie does is choke on the last lap. But Rodrigo, I'm very impressed with the composure that this kid is showing. He's not blocking the lines. He's not running the inside. He's running the fast line, and Robert Naughton could not catch him.
The final turn of the final lap. Rodrigo and Pudia, Papa's in beer. He brings home back-to-back wins here at Crandon. Congratulations to the rookie. Again, congratulations to Robert Naughton. He'll have the quickest lap of the race, and he'll finish second. Backer shock of the race. Let's go back. This was pretty ugly. Chad Horde gets pushed out by 2 of the trucks and then goes for a ride in the middle of it. Gets hit by Javier Saucio and continues to go for a ride. The truck lands back on all 4s, but he was okay.
As you take another look, he gets spin side to side. Javier comes in, catches it right in the fuel cell. As he comes to a dead stop, you see the fuel dumping out of the fuel cell. From the inside, it's one scary view.
Watch this. Hats off to Core and all the safety aspects that are enforced here on these trucks. That's what kept him alive and brought him back to race in round number 12.
Robert, we meet again. I know you want to be standing on the very top of that podium so badly, but man, you really worked for this, passing people, just flying down that track, and maybe given a few more laps, you could have pulled it off.
You know, my hat goes off to Rodrigo. He drove 2 incredible days. I really wanted to race with him yesterday, and I broke the truck. And today we raced with no brakes, and all I could do was try to pressure him enough to make a mistake. Without the brakes, I couldn't drive it into the corners hard, and I was slowing down with the gearbox. And you know, he did a great job. Yeah, I want to be on that top rung of the podium, but I tend to drive Chula Vista well, and we're coming to Chula Vista, so I expect to be talking to you 4 more times this year, and several of them better be from the number 1 spot. But I think Rodrigo and I have proved that we're not really rookies anymore. We're here to race with the top guys, and we'll be around for a while.
The ingredients of a champion right there. Let's go back and recap round number 11. Steve Federico had a great run, but it all got started with that right there. Chad Horde, who went for an e-ticket ride.
Chad Horde taking a hard tumble, probably 4 to 5 flips side by side, then getting hit by Javier, flipping him end over end. And then it was Jeff Kincaid pulling off with a motor problem.
Yeah, he suffered engine problems, and that opened up the door for the kid in the Papas and Beer sponsored machine, Rodrigo Ampudia, to get his first career win with championship off-road racing.
Robert Naughton looked like he was going to be in the mix and maybe have a shot at Rodrigo, but had some problems and had to come back in second place.
And round 12, the kid Kyle LeDuc had a great run going, then fell back a couple of spots and then flipped it. Jeff Kincaid also had his fair share of problems.
Off the track, truck on fire, he was able to put out the fire, and he was safe, but definitely that hurt his points.
The same two rookies put on